already want to make this vlog for several days, and this vlog is about get out of your own head, because a lot of people, I spoke with a lot of people the past 7 days, not only normal people but also from all kind of levels of society. So this vlog, I'm gonna give you strategy which I also used a lot in the past, but now it became a part of my character, and you know, I live a life of freedom. And the thing is, you know, people who are actually so-called depressed and or anxious or whatever, it's all in your own head, right? And by the way, if you're very sensitive for everything like reality, then now click away, because my vlogs are not for the soft-hearted, for the people who actually really want to get out the 9-to-5 rat race thinking. But you know what, that's also something, when people talk about and make money online and all that kind of stuff, I think it comes along with a mindset, because I talked with multiple people the past week. You know, also made a vlog about the inbred man. You know, and if you're watching this, you know, not saying it to disrespect you because I don't mention your name, I use it as a very clear example. And if there's one, there are always more people like this. So there's something to learn from, and that's why I'm sharing it. Nothing is to disrespect people, never. But it teaches me a lot, because some people and there are people who think they want to grow. But if you really want to grow in life, it means living a life of freedom, do whatever you want. And like the inbred man says, yeah, but Alan, I don't want to walk around and travel around to meet people. I'm not like you. That's true, but you're missing the bigger point, the bigger vision. I'm doing whatever I want, and that's called freedom. That's something you don't have to envy, but something to look at, right? What if you don't have to do anything? You don't have to get up and do your work or whatever, and take a little bit of moment and think about all the things that you have to do that you actually don't really want to do. And of course you get attached to your colleagues and everything, and in the meantime you're anxious and a little bit depressed here and there, and you talk with other depressed people. And again, I'm not saying this in an offensive way, but the easiest strategy is, first of all, walk around outside and start thinking about other people. There's so much interesting stuff going on, right? Look at people, how they dress. That's how I had periods when I lost everything, so I needed entertainment, but also to keep my positive mindset by, you know, keep doing my disciplines no matter how hungry I was, but also staying very positive, because, you know, for me there is no family on the other side that would say on the phone everybody is already dead and gone, and that really would care. So this is a really simple technique. Look at somebody, you know, when they eat an ice cream, think about, why did they choose the ice cream? This person had to go to this location, woke up in the morning, thought about buying this ice cream. You know, there's so many examples. You know, there's so many colorful people walking around, and I don't mean skin wise. I mean, you know, the way they dress, you know, the way they groom themselves. You know, think about all those things, and before you know, you're instantly out of your own head. And the thing is, in the beginning, nothing is easy, and it's the same with training. You know, nothing is easy. So by the way, now I'm doing a little mountain walk, because to be very honest, today I'm exhausted, so I'm not gonna do a run, and I'm doing then a 5-kilometer mountain walk and then calisthenics, and in the meantime I'm doing this vlog. So you know, try to look around. You know, what I'm personally also very interested in is ants. And when I see ants, I look at them and I think, wow, you know, they got the summer. They're working, you know, to make the winter as comfortable as possible, right? There is this cartoon, this grasshopper in the end, right? The grasshopper likes to have fun, and then in the winter he knocks on the door. I don't know, I don't remember the exact story anymore, but you know, when those ants, so for a couple of days, I think I posted on my Instagram story, you know, I was feeding the ants, you know, to help them out a little bit. You know, by the way, helping out animals, people, engage with the world, gets you out of your own head. You know, and I listened to multiple people this week, and they were not in a mental great position, and you know, and I'm always thinking, why not try it? And then the excuses are flowing, you know. So for example, one guy, he said, "Madal, you don't want to know how much pain I have when I wake up in the morning." Well, I saw him walking. If you're really in pain, yeah, I think also you should start looking at people who, when you're so much in pain, and I do understand, I'm every day in pain, but pain is just part of the game. And that is physically because I'm training every day. I don't give myself rest days. So, but you know, I understand people who are really in pain. I sat down with those people. I saw people dying on the fucking bed, dying from pain. Well, that's a high level of pain. And the thing is, the normal people, with all the respect, you know, it's also if you start feeling a little bit uncomfortable by my talk, but this is only talk for people who try to, or even want to escape. That's another thing. There's wanting, there's thinking about it, and there's something doing about it. And you know, when you're in pain, I understand, but I do believe if you just do this 1 kilometer walk a day instead of the television, because no matter what the pain, if you had this guy talk about shoulder pain in the back, blah blah blah, I'm gonna give you one example. My stepsister, and I never talk about her, and because but yeah, she had a big S in her spine, was actually pretty much labeled as disabled, and still she became a Miss Fitness, just saying. And you know, like I said, I never talk about, well, actually that people can pinpoint that is her, but yeah, this is a very good example again that I'm, you know, that I know from experience, that I have seen things in real life. And that's also again when it's about getting out of your own head. Well, the times that I was sitting sometimes at night on the street, you know, you need to find entertainment and also to think, to get out of your own head. So I developed this kind of stuff. I started to get very, maybe I was always already very curious about everything. That's probably a given. But I think when you start engaging with the world, give a compliment. Talked about this many times, multiple times before in my previous vlogs. You know, give a compliment to people that are seem to be so okay, ordinary for you, but you can you know, flower up somebody else's day. You know, the people in the supermarket, the people in the liquor store, if you go to the liquor stores. You know, I try to speak with everybody, by the way, but yeah, that's me. And you don't have to do it everywhere, but let's say you're in a mental position that you would say, no, I don't see life anymore, I need medicines, and you know, I want to call myself ADHD, anxious, and all the stuff, and all my friends have it, of course, because you guys need to gather. And if you feel a little bit bad, then it needs a label. I would call it life, and there is only a small percentage who like to face life. And of course the medicine industry needs to keep on turning and you feel better for a little while, but that's all a plaster right? The plaster on the wounds, and it doesn't help you out on the long term. I think it would even speed up the thing. Why? Because think about stoners. As you guys know, no, you don't know if you watch my vlogs for the first time. I had a grow shop in Holland, head shop. But the thing is, so I'm very familiar with the stuff that I'm talking about. I don't talk about stuff that I don't know. So when it's about stoners,